Welcome into this edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I am your host, Jack Lotteray. We got a lot to talk about tonight. The Red Sox made 4 roster moves today. They also played a game against the Blue Jays, which wasn't that great. It was Garrett Crochet Day, though, and they did finally drop the Netflix documentary. We got a lot to talk about today, but before we get into any of that, I was doing some deep diving into the analytics of this channel. It's still a young channel, only been around for about 2-ish months now, but I saw that the most subs we've ever gained on a video was 31. And I thought, that's kind of rookie numbers. You know, the season is young. There's a lot of excitement around this team. Can we get 35 new subscribers on this video? That might be a lofty task, but hey, there's a bunch of Red Sox fans on YouTube. And if you love Red Sox news, if you love Red Sox rumors, if you love everything around this Boston Red Sox baseball team, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you already have subscribed, send this link to a friend. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps us get more studio space at Chat Sports and helps us get more content out to you guys. So if you have not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Okay, let's get into the biggest news of the day. 4 roster moves went down today. Obviously, in last night's video, we talked about Connor Wong, how he fractured his pinky in the with the catcher's interference during last night's game against the Blue Jays. He was officially placed on the 10-day IL today. The good news, though, according to Alex Cora, is that that Wong met with a hand specialist, and he said it was the best case scenario in terms of a fracture on the pinky. So that's at least a good sign that maybe the rehab is not as dire or as long as it might have been if it was more serious. But nonetheless, he is out indefinitely. We do not have a timetable on his return so far. So even though he's on the 10-day IL, I think we can all assume he's going to be out for more than 10 days. So wishing him, best wishes. I know he wasn't playing well, and I know that everyone's like, well, the injury did the work for us of, having him end up getting benched for Carlos Narvaez, but you never want an injury to happen. So I hope that he rehabs quickly, feels better, and gets back on the field as soon as possible. We also had 3 other roster moves that came with this. Blake Sabol was the call-up from Worcester to become now the backup catcher to Carlos Narvaez. It was between him and Seby Zavala. They picked Blake Sabol, who Sabol got some time tonight and, didn't really contribute much, but he was there. Josh Winckowski also got recalled from AAA today. He was added to the bullpen. And a corresponding move for Winckowski is Robert Stock, who pitched yesterday and didn't, have the best of outings. He was designated for assignment. So 2 real moves here. Wong goes on the IL and Sabol replaces him. And then Robert Stock gets DFAed and Winckowski replaces him. Winckowski pitched today, was fine. Nothing really to write home about, but I would much prefer that he's not in high leverage situations this year, and he really wasn't. This game was kind of cooked by the time he came in. But 2 really main moves. Wong goes to the IL, Robert Stock's DFA'd, Sabol's up, Winckowski's up, and those are the big roster moves that happened today. Now, again, I feel bad for Connor Wong because all we've been doing so far this season is crapping on him because he hasn't played well. He has not. You look at the statistic, you look at the play, he has not played well really in any facet. But you never want injuries to happen, though. Yes, it makes Alex Cora's decision to start Carlos Narvaez that much easier, but you never want it to be because of an injury. So I want us to give the good vibes to Connor Wong. Go down below in the comments, spam 12 in the comment section right now as many times as you can. Send out the good vibes to Connor Wong so that he rehabs quickly, gets back on the field. You never want an injury to be the reason why a roster move is made. So give him the good vibes, spam 12 in the comments. Hopefully, Connor, if you end up watching this, hopefully your rehab goes well. Hopefully it's quickly, and hopefully you're back on the field sooner rather than later. All right, let's get into the game tonight. Said it in my recap short. Ugly game. Once again, it was cold, apparently according to Baseball Reference, I guess just the stats. This was the 3rd coldest first pitch in Fenway Park history, apparently, which is nasty. The wind chill was like 19 degrees, which was crazy. And you could tell right away. There was a lot of issues gripping the baseball tonight. A lot of errors, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. And Garrett Crochet, from the start, just did not look comfortable in the game. He was not executing pitches, especially in the first inning. He was walking guys. He did allow hits, and you could tell that he was struggling to grip the baseball. Will Middlebrooks was talking about it in the broadcast booth tonight, that pitches that were going high aren't supposed to go high in the zone, and he was just having trouble getting the right spin that he wanted on the ball. Crochet's day as a whole, 5 2/3. He gave up 5 hits, 4 walks, 4 runs. Only one of those runs were earned, in 5 strikeouts. His first loss of the season as well. And you could tell that he was struggling. He had, if I'm looking correctly, where is it? Crochet threw a career-high 107 pitches tonight. 65 of them were strikes. That's just... He was having trouble at points with the zone, and a lot of that was in the first inning. You know, like I said, he walked 4, gave up 5 hits. That's a lot of runners on base, and when you have an offense, especially an infield, that is struggling with errors, you just can't have that much traffic on the base paths. Again, not completely his fault. I actually don't think his outing was that bad. The stat line looks worse than I think it actually was, and I think a lot of that has to do with that 6th inning and the 2 errors. So go down below in the comments, grade Garrett Crochet's outing for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give it a B-. All things considered, weather, errors, I think he still was relatively successful. He executed a lot of pitches. He did still strike out 5. He only had 1 earned run. I don't love the traffic on the base paths, though, and he clearly was having issues in the early innings gripping the baseball. So I'm going to give it a B-, but you let me know in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know. Grade Garrett Crochet's outing today against the Blue Jays. Top of the 6th was ugly. It was. 2 key errors that could have ended the inning. The Red Sox, I don't want to say that two plays were the reason why they lost this game, because that's not true. They struck out, I would assume, double-digit times. They struck out 12 times. They got absolutely nothing going on offense. That's not the reason why they lost this game. But you could have been out of that inning with very minimal damage, not having Crochet throw a career-high number of pitches if, 1, Bregman makes a throw across the diamond, and 2, Campbell does not try to do too much, and he's able to make a clean throw to first base. 2 really bad throwing errors that cannot happen. Bregman, you could tell, I think he was just an issue gripping the baseball, and Campbell, Cora said it in his post-game press conference, was just trying to do too much. The Red Sox are leading the MLB in errors once again. Yes, the defense has been better. Yes, they have been turning a lot more double plays and making a lot of plays that they would not have made last year. But it doesn't matter though, because you're still leading the league in errors, and that can't happen. We cannot have this team lead the league in errors once again, because that's going to lead to games like tonight, where you have your starting pitcher have 4 runs, but only 1 of them are earned, and you have an ugly loss in a cold, frigid game. That can't happen. They need to clean up the infield defense. Again, it's been light years better than it was, but to still lead the majors in errors this early in the season is not good. And 4 runs scored in that inning, and that wouldn't have happened if they did not commit those errors. It just wouldn't have. The inning would have been over. So yeah, that was bad. And this was, and everyone was crapping on me for what I was saying during the Rangers game, but this was the epitome of a 2024 Boston Red Sox game. Errors in the infield leading to runs. Double-digit strikeouts. Not hitting with runners in scoring position. Leaving runners on base. That was the MO of the 2024 Red Sox. The offense got nothing going tonight. And when there were opportunities, they didn't cash in. 2 runners on, no outs, bottom of the 9th. Romy Gonzalez grounds into a double play to Move a runner to third, but now you've got 2 outs as opposed to none. These things cannot happen if you want to win games. And so it just was ugly. The wind was absolutely a factor tonight. They were hitting the ball hard. There were hard hits, but the wind was killing them. There was just no luck. I don't want to say that the Red Sox offense was completely silent. They did get hits in this game, and they were hitting the ball hard at points. They just did kind of get a little bit unlucky. But again, 12 strikeouts. Like, that's inexcusable. And there were a few, Blake Sabol to end the game where you're watching a pitch right down the zone. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Now, there was a Bregman strikeout where the last pitch was a ball. There was a Duran strikeout where the last pitch was a ball. I cannot wait for the ump scorecard to come out tomorrow. It's going to be atrocious, I think. But you can't blame a game on the umps. 12 strikeouts, multiple errors. That cannot happen. The Red Sox could have been leading the AL East outright tonight, but instead they fall, and I believe they are now third in the AL East. Again, a lot can change. They win the next 2 games, and they split, and the Yankees lose another game, and they're back up at the top. But you had a prime opportunity to take a lead in the AL East outright, and you squandered it tonight. Also, last point I'm going to make, and then we're going to get out of here. Why are we sitting Wilyer Abreu and Tristan Casas? I get the argument that they haven't hit well against lefties, but they have, though, this year. Like, they've both been good this year. Casas has struggled, but he's starting to get on the uphill. Wilyer is the hottest player in baseball right now. I don't give a damn that there is a lefty pitcher in there. Play the players that are hitting well. Again, Casas hasn't hit well, but he's starting to hit better. But Abreu is the hottest hitter in baseball right now. So I'm sorry, Cora. I love you, and I'm glad that you're extended. I'm glad you're my manager, but that lefty argument doesn't make any sense because you have a balanced lineup now with right-handed bats. So I don't understand that. I know that Wilyer had some heavy legs. I know that he's a little fatigued. So if that's the case for Wilyer, that makes sense. Casas, I don't get it. Let him play. He needs the reps. He needs to get in there and see more at-bats. Just do it. My dad loves Romy Gonzalez. I love Romy Gonzalez. He's not your everyday first baseman, and Casas should be out there. Casas should be out there. So I don't understand that. Again, the Wilyer one might make a little more sense if he's fatigued and tired and all of that. You do not want to injure the hottest bat in your lineup. But again, if it's just because it was a lefty starting pitcher, I don't buy that. I just don't. I don't think that that's that good. All right, we're going to get out of here. That's it. All we got to talk about tonight. I'm going to get this video out, and then I'm going to go to bed because I am tired. But I'm going to end on this. The Netflix documentary, The Clubhouse, A Year with the Red Sox, came out today. 8 episodes, all out. I've watched the first 5.5 episodes. I'm probably gonna finish it this weekend because I'm going to bed after I post this video. But let me know, have you watched the Red Sox documentary yet? I want you to type a Y for yes if you have, or an N for no if you have not, and go a little bit further. Let me know what you think. I think it's really good. I think that this unprecedented access that Netflix got was incredible. And I think that the stories that they're telling are really, really powerful. Episode 4, everyone's been talking about Jarren Duran and his mental health struggles, is so heartbreaking. It shatters your heart, but it also leaves you feeling very upbeat and resilient, because it is a story of resilience and a story of, overcoming, your demons. And I thought it was very, very powerful. And I think that this is a really well done documentary. I still have 2.5 episodes to watch, so I'm not finished with it yet. But this is not a documentary just about the 81-81 2024 Boston Red Sox. This is a documentary about the stories that make these players and the stories that come through baseball. And I absolutely loved it. I'm enjoying the hell out of it so far. You let me know down below in the comments. Are you watching? Y for yes, N for no. And again, go further. Let me know your thoughts. I want to get in the weeds. Tell me what you're thinking. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you like? What do you not like? Get in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it down below. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Gonna have another video tomorrow. And recapping every game that happens this season. So again, our goal for the day, we want to hit 35 new subscribers on this video. It's a lofty task. Our record is 31. But if you love the Sox, if you bleed Red Sox baseball, news, rumors, daily recaps on every single game, don't miss out. hit that subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed, send that link to a friend. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. And until next time, go Sox.